Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something probably lurking in your linen closet right now. You know, those towels, the stiff, kind of scratchy ones that don't really absorb water anymore, and maybe, just maybe, they have that faint, musty smell.
Ugh, yes. That lingering damp smell, it's a classic problem.
It really is. And we've dug into the sources, and the answer is, frankly, a bit shocking. It turns out the very thing most people use to fix this problem, it's actually causing it.
That's absolutely right. So our mission today really is pretty straightforward. We want to dive into the science happening in your laundry and convince you, hopefully, to ditch the fabric softener for good.
Okay, I can already feel people pushing back. I mean, fabric softener,
Mm.
the name itself implies it's the solution, right? You buy it because your towels feel awful.
Exactly. It feels like if you stop using it, things will just get worse. Sandpaper towels forever, that's the assumption.
Powerful marketing, isn't it?
It really is. And that assumption is, well, it's proof of how marketing can sometimes trump basic chemistry in our minds. We get the skepticism, we really do. But stick with us, because there's a real aha moment coming.
All right, let's get into it then. We pour in that blue, often scented liquid, thinking it makes fabric softer. If that's not what's happening, what is going on in the wash?
Okay, so fundamentally, fabric softener isn't like a hair conditioner that penetrates and smooths the fibers themselves. It's made of something called cationic surfactants. Fancy term, I know.
Cationic surfactants.
Yeah.
Sounds chemical. What do they do?
Think of them as tiny charged particles. Your towel fibers, especially cotton, get a slightly negative charge when they're wet. These surfactants, they have a positive charge.
Opposites attract.
Precisely. So the softener chemicals literally glue themselves onto the surface of every single fiber. It's not sucking in, it's clinging on.
So it's less softening and more like painting the towel.
With a chemical coat. That's a great way to put it. It is a coating. And critically, this coating is essentially waxy, and it's designed to be hydrophobic.
Hydrophobic,
Yeah.
meaning water repelling.
Yep. Water repelling.
Wait, we're deliberately adding a water repelling layer to something we rely on to absorb water.
That seems fundamentally backward. Why?
Well, because that thin, waxy film feels smooth to the touch immediately. That gives you the sensation you think is softness. Plus, they load it with fragrance, which signals clean to our brains. It hits those immediate sensory buttons.
Right, the immediate feel and smell. Never mind if it actually works long term.
Exactly. But the consequences kick in, especially after the dryer.
The heat. What does that do?
It basically bakes that waxy coating onto the fibers, seals it right on there. And this leads to the two big problems you mentioned earlier.
Okay, problem one has to be absorbency, right?
Absolutely. It kills the absorbency.
Yeah.
That hydrophobic layer means water can't easily get into the fibers. Your towel stops acting like a sponge.
And starts acting more like a, I don't know, a squeegee or a raincoat. Yeah, like a raincoat. You end up just sort of pushing water around on your skin instead of the towel actually soaking it up. You're relying on friction, not absorption.
Which explains why you never feel quite dry. Okay, and the other big frustration, that musty smell. The one that blooms the second the towel gets damp again.
The coating is the villain there, too. That waxy film doesn't just keep water out. It also seals in whatever residue is left deep in the fibers from the wash.
You mean like leftover detergent, body oil?
Exactly. Dirt, oils, soap scum. It all gets trapped under that layer. And because the softener is hydrophobic, the rinse water can't effectively get in there to wash it all away.
So each wash just adds another layer of sealant on top of the old grime.
You got it. You're essentially trapping that organic stuff, the oils, the soap bits inside. Then, in a warm, damp bathroom, well, that's a perfect breeding ground for bacteria and mildew.
Oh, that's pretty gross. You think you're cleaning it, but you're just locking in the germs.
Kind of like embalming them, yeah. That's where the chronic musty smell comes from. No amount of regular washing with more softener can fix it.
Okay, this makes sense now. The problem isn't a lack of something. It's too much stuff being added. The coating, the trapped residue. So the solution, it has to be about removal, right? Subtraction, not addition.
Precisely. We need to strip away that buildup. And this is where the secret weapon comes in. It's cheap, it's probably already in your kitchen, and it works wonders. Distilled white vinegar.
Vinegar. Okay, I've heard about this. But let's clarify, if the softener is making things feel soft by coating them, what's making them feel stiff and scratchy in the first place before we even get to the coating or underneath it?
Ah, good question. That stiffness, the scratchiness, a lot of that comes from mineral buildup, especially if you have hard water.
Hard water, like calcium and magnesium deposits?
Exactly. The same stuff that leaves scale in your kettle. Those minerals react with detergents and create soap scum, which gets lodged in the fibers, making them stiff. The fabric softener just kind of pastes over that stiffness.
While adding its own problems. Okay, so vinegar attacks the minerals and the softener residue.
It does, but I know the first reaction people have is, vinegar! In my laundry, won't I smell like a salad?
Totally. Or a pickle jar.
Yeah.
It's a legitimate fear. How does it work without leaving that smell?
Chemistry is the key here. White vinegar is basically dilute acetic acid. It's a mild acid, but it's acidic enough to break down those alkaline mineral deposits and dissolve soap scum residue.
Okay, so it dissolves the crunchy stuff.
It dissolves the crunchy stuff, exactly. And here's the crucial part, the timing. You add the vinegar to the fabric softener dispenser.
So the machine adds it during the rinse cycle.
Right, not during the main wash, during the final rinse. And because vinegar is completely water-soluble, it does its dissolving job, and then the rinse water just washes it all away, completely down the drain.
So by the time the towel even gets near the dryer...
The vinegar is long gone. There's nothing left to bake in, smell-wise. The heat of the dryer just fluffs up the now truly clean fibers. No coating, no mineral gunk, no vinegar smell, just clean.
That makes so much sense. The timing is everything. Okay, I have to admit, the first time I tried this, I gathered up my saddest-looking towels, poured in the vinegar, felt totally nuts. I was sure they'd be ruined or smell awful.
Yeah, it feels counterintuitive because we've been doing the softener thing for so long.
But the difference was, honestly, immediate. It was kind of amazing.
It really can be transformative. So let's give people a clear plan. Let's talk action steps. First, you need to deal with the towels you already have, the ones that are coated and maybe a bit musty.
Right, phase A, the initial stripping. This is like hitting the reset button. A one-time deep clean.
Step 1. Take those problem towels, put them in the washing machine, set it to the hottest water setting safe for the fabric. Now add 1 full cup of white distilled vinegar straight into the drum.
Okay, hot water, 1 cup vinegar, and the critical part.
Absolutely no detergent, and obviously no fabric softener, 0 soap.
Yeah.
You want the vinegar to have free rein to attack that buildup without interference.
Got it. Let the acid do its work.
Exactly. Now, step 2. This is highly recommended, especially if you've battled that musty smell. After that first vinegar cycle finishes, don't dry the towels, yet run them through another wash cycle.
Another one, okay. Same settings.
Still hot water, still absolutely no detergent or softener, but this time add half a cup of baking soda to the drum.
Baking soda. After the vinegar, why? What's the chemistry there?
Good question. Vinegar is an acid, baking soda is a base. So after the acid, vinegar has broken down the tough mineral scale and softener residue. The base, baking soda, helps to lift away any remaining loosened gunk. It also acts as a deodorizer and helps neutralize any lingering acidity, ensuring the fibers are perfectly balanced and fresh.
Like a 1-2 punch. Acid dissolves, base neutralizes, and deodorizes.
Clever.
It really finishes the job, leaves them truly stripped clean.
Okay, so that's the initial rescue mission. Once that's done, what about keeping them nice? Phase B, ongoing maintenance.
The maintenance is super simple. It just requires a couple of small tweaks to your normal routine.
All right, lay it out for us. The new normal wash. First, and this is good advice, generally you're probably using too much detergent anyway. Modern detergents, especially HE ones, are very concentrated. So from now on, cut your usual amount of detergent in half.
Half the soap. Okay. Less residue to deal with.
Precisely. And second, every single time you wash your towels, add half a cup of white vinegar directly into the fabric softener dispenser compartment.
So you just swap the blue goo for the clear vinegar. Simple. The machine times it right, adds it in the rinse.
It breaks down any soap residue or hard water minerals from that wash, rinses away clean, and your towels stay soft and absorbent load after load. It becomes your new fabric softener, one that actually helps instead of harms.
Love it. Okay, washing covered. But drying matters too, right? We ditched liquid softener. Dryer sheets are basically the same problem, aren't they? Applying a waxy coating.
You're exactly right. Dryer sheets work by depositing a thin layer of essentially wax or fatty compounds onto the fabric as they heat up. That reduces static, yes, but it's still adding a film.
So what's the alternative? Phase C, the drying secret.
The secret weapon for drying is wool dryer balls.
Ah, yes. I use these. They're fantastic.
aren't they? They're a purely physical solution. They just bounce around in the dryer with the towels.
And that bouncing does what exactly?
It physically separates the towels, allowing hot air to circulate more efficiently, which speeds up drying. But more importantly, the balls gently pummel the fibers, fluffing them up and making them feel softer naturally. They basically beat the stiffness out.
And crucially, they don't add any coating or chemicals.
Zero coating. They reduce static naturally through the tumbling action and by absorbing a little moisture. They're the perfect finish for a genuinely clean towel.
This whole deep dive really makes you question things, doesn't it? We're sold this idea of softness from a bottle.
When really, that product is masking stiffness caused by minerals in the soap scum, while simultaneously destroying the towel's main function absorbency by coating it in water-repelling wax. It's kind of wild.
And the simple, cheap fix was right there all along. Stop adding the coating, start removing the buildup with vinegar.
It boils down to understanding the actual problem versus just treating a symptom with something that makes it worse long-term.
So for you listening, it really comes down to a choice, doesn't it? Keep buying the softener, keep basically scraping water off yourself with a coated, slightly musty towel.
Or spend a couple of bucks on a big jug of vinegar, maybe do that initial stripping wash, and actually have towels that are soft because they're clean and work the way they're supposed to. Absorbent, fluffy, genuinely fresh.
And maybe, just maybe, start looking at other cleaning products around the house with a more critical eye.
That's the bigger takeaway, I think. How often are we sold a quick fix that just papers over the real issue or even creates new ones? Questioning those assumptions can save you money, time, and frustration.
Asking yourself, am I actually solving the problem here, or am I just spraying it with perfume and hoping for the best? A great thought to end on. Thanks for diving deep with us today.